So I moved the living room around. Something different. My mom, before she got hospitalized, was talking about she wants to rearrange her bedroom, but big news flash, when your bed is a big queen-size giant bed and it takes up your whole room, you're not really moving and you're not strong enough to move she can't move her room around, okay? Their room's small, the bed takes up almost the whole bedroom, okay? She really can't move her room around. When she was sick, she was talking about having her rebounder out here. Like, how are you going to have your rebounder out here, Mom? Not unless we get rid of that bureau. And we tried before, and no one wanted it. We don't need it. I kept Omar's bags in it, and now we don't have an Omar, so. Anyhow, I rearranged the living room very carefully in my bare feet. And let me move the camera so I can show you. I also did it because she has this plug-in piano thing, right? And when it was over there, she never even used it. She doesn't know. We have our TV over there. We do have a power strip, but you don't know which thing to unplug, which to not. You know, it just, now if she wants to use it, she can just have its own, it can have its own plug. She doesn't have to be concerned that she's going to unplug the wrong thing or unplug the TV by accident or the cable box, you know. Because we have a power strip. We have two things plugged into the wall, and then we have the power strip. I guess the TV plugs in the wall. I don't know what else is. Looks like that it's the cable box that is plugged into the power. I don't know. The fact is, this would be better for her, but I just thought it would have a change. The real reason, besides just to change it around for the hell of it, I'll show you. It's a really simple thing, but I'll show you. Now, when the couch was there, if I want to lay down on that couch, right, goes without saying, I'm facing the dining room. I have to turn my head to see the TV, right? Even my mom might want to do this sometime. Now you can lay down on this couch, flat, straight, legs out, not have to turn your neck at all. You're facing the TV. See? Whereas before, on that couch, when it's this way and the TV's over there, you can lay flat on it, but you're looking that way. You have to turn your neck. So I thought it would be something different. Even my mom might enjoy lying down on this couch and not having to turn her neck or anything and watch TV lying down. She just might. You never know. Or even watching TV not lying down but putting a pillow behind you and at least straightening out your legs and being like this, see? And not having to turn anything. You're straight. You're like this, just like this, you know? Lying down and the TV is directly in front of you. Again, something different. I just watched, I've seen all the Good Doctors. I've seen every single episode from at the start, okay? I just watched part of a repeat when Sean's abusive towards him when he was a kid, young kid, whatever, because Sean's autistic, you know, he's the savant type of autistic, but in any case, his dad was very abusive to him. Now, in this episode, his dad is dying and actually dies, and very intense. I was crying. It takes nothing for me to cry. I think my mom will like this. I also did the other day, before she was hospitalized, which I could see coming a mile away, and as usual, she can't believe it can ever happen. That's part of her illness, because if it's happened to you repeatedly, and you've always thinks it can't happen until it happens. But anyhow, I put all of her Cosmo and Glamour in that drawer, those drawers, and she's going to have difficulty if she'll be even to open the drawer at all, but she has to learn on her own, you know. She's going to see that I did it for her. Instead of saying, no, Mom, you're not going to be able to open the drawer, it's going to be too heavy. Nope, just do it. Did it for her. And when she can't open the drawers, I'll say, see, that's why you had them in your bedroom in a container or up in your closet. You have tons of room on your shelves. But when she gets manic, she wants nothing in her closet. She wouldn't even let me have the one little stupid vacuum cleaner in there. When she has an empty closet and plenty of room, you know, that's how she gets. She gets manic and doesn't want anything anywhere, which is why she tore our closet apart, was taking everything out of there, and I had to throw it all in my bed. But she has to learn on her own, okay? Unfortunately, she kept bumping into our chandelier, and it's not a joke. It's things. They're not sharp, but they're pokey metal. Even if it's not sharp, if you keep hitting that into your head, it's not fun. Like I said, I've done it, so I can tell you firsthand it's not fun. It's certainly not fun to repeatedly do it. It's not going to give you a concussion. A concussion is when you like smash your head or something. You can't get a concussion from bumping your head. I don't think, anyway. Nonetheless, it wasn't even teaching her, because the first time she did it, she should put the table back. Instead of me finding out that she'd done it a few times, that's what she was running through the neighborhood, asking strangers if they thought she had a concussion. So, remember, I didn't know any of this till after the fact. And wouldn't have known any of it had a male stranger not been knocking on my door and startling me with my earplugs and assuring me, just want to let you know your mom's okay, when I didn't know anything was going on. I mean, anyhow, I rearranged this. I think my mom will like it. Something different. Something different. You never know. She might like lying down like this, sitting up, having her legs spread out, watching TV that's straight in front. Which, again, you couldn't do it that way. You'd have to turn your neck. And my mom has difficulty with her. I never saw her lying down on this couch that way and watching TV. Let's put it that way. So, she might like it. I know I'll like it. I don't watch much TV, but it's a whole different experience. I got the idea because I'm too tall. I'm nearly 5'10" in bare feet, and I've done that with that couch when it was here. I've sat here like this and watched TV, but I've had to be up like that, and I've done it for a different experience, to have it right in front of me, as opposed to being over there and having it be sideways. It's a different experience watching the TV right in front of you. Just like in the movie theater. I always want to sit right in the middle. I try, get there early, and I want to sit right in the middle. I've read stuff on Quora where people are like, they do what I do. They go real early to the movie to get a good seat. Then you have rude people wanting you to move, who come in late and they want to sit together, and they expect you to move when you're the one that got there early to get the good seat. It's not fair. It's not right. I've said no to someone before. Tough shit. You can't. But there was one thing on Quora that she's like, the person was like, I refuse to move even when, and the stupid movie manage the ushers or whatever were trying to, she's like, I don't have to. This is my seat. I got here first. I don't have to move. Why? And they wanted her. They were so rude. These people. They had a group of people. They wanted her to instead of having the nice middle seat that she wanted, she would have been pushed way down to the end. That's not right. But assholes will expect you to do that. And the person was furious when she said no. She's like, sometimes you have to stand your ground, you know? She said no even to when the ushers got pushy and were like, just move for the, no, don't have to. Don't have to. I got here first. It's my seat. I'm not moving. If you want to sit together, get to the movie theater early instead of 10 minutes after it starts, you know? Sometimes I stumble upon things on Quora that I can actually relate to, you know. I've actually experienced them myself. That is one of them. I had someone ask me to move my seat before that I had literally gotten there super early to get, and I wasn't budging. Then there are people that get upset if they're in like an empty theater and someone sits right beside them. But I think I've had that happen too before. Maybe not in a theater, maybe it was I had it happen in the library. There was tons of empty computers. Person sat right beside me. It was creepy, it was weird because it was a guy. But even if that happens in a movie theater and it's a guy, you know, I like being right in the middle. Well, maybe whoever's sitting next to me likes being right in the middle too. I can't be upset at that. It'd definitely be weird. It's happened to people, but I can't be upset about it nonetheless. In the library, I felt really weird, but again, in the movie theater, it makes more sense than in the library. There was literally all empty computers. And they could have sat at least one computer. There was me, computer. They could have at least sat one away from me, the computer, because it was not one. I was the only one, and no, the guy sat right on the computer, right next to me, and that was just weird as all hell. I was all fuck. But it's not illegal. You can't say anything. You can't be upset. What you can do is move. But I didn't bother moving. It's too obvious for me to move. I think it was going to be closing soon anyway, and I just tolerated it. I just thought, you're a weirdo. You're sitting right next to me when you could sit anywhere you wanted. In the whole entire library, all the computers are empty, and you sit right in my computer right next to me. Strange. I guess maybe they liked that computer too. That could be. That could be. I can't get upset though, because I've liked something. I've done the same damn thing. I've done the same thing. I think I've even sat next to someone in a pretty empty movie theater because I want that middle seat. I've always done that. That's how I am. And I'm not doing anything wrong. If you don't like it, you move. You know, if you're upset, I'm sitting right next to you instead of one seat away because I want to be right in the middle and that's where you are, then tough shit. I can do it, okay? And what's good for the goose, good for the gander. Guy can do it to me too. And I have to suck it up. As long as you don't bother me, as long as he doesn't bother me, you know. I'm getting cleaning done. Slowly. I didn't eat much today, but I told you I wasn't gonna. I'm just gonna eat what's here. And our can opener, I wanted some canned organic chicken, and our can opener is broken. I gotta get us a new can opener. Those manual can openers break too easily. It's ridiculous. And I don't get ones that cost like $1 or something. I don't think they even just have can openers cost $1. But you know what I mean? Maybe they do, but no, I get decent can openers. I don't know what's wrong with the damn can openers. But anyhow, the pink salmon that I get from Vitacost has a flip top. That's why so many things have flip tops these days, so people can have the convenience of not having to open it with a can opener. started watching Wild. I saw that. I read the book with Cheryl Strayed. I saw it years ago, but I saw it, our DVD player, we don't have the remote to it, so we have to do it manually, and there's no, you can't get closed captions or that, but if I watch it on the TV, I can watch it on closed captions. I'm watching it on Max, so. True story. She's in her 20s and lost her mom, who was in her 40s, and her mom was her best friend, and her mom died of cancer or something, and then she just couldn't take it, and turns to heroin, and turns to promiscuous sex, and, you know, cheating on her husband, who they just, and then she's probably going to wind up dead, so she decides to hike 1,000 miles by herself, all alone. Don't think anyone would do that, any woman would do that these days. This was quite a few years ago. These days a woman can think she's safe, not even far from home, and get slaughtered. Meanwhile, Cheryl Strayed was in the middle of nowhere by herself. I don't remember the movie and the book. I remember it as I'm watching it, but right now I don't remember it all. So I thought I would watch it again. I toyed with the idea of watching a movie that's also on Max called The Nightingale, and then I looked it up and I was like, nah, I don't need to. Even though it's critically acclaimed, high reviews, highly acclaimed, it's well written, it's this, that, whatever, but it's also really, really explicit rape and murder. Yeah, I don't need to watch that. Nope, I don't need to. Also move this shit, have something different if I create a video. Not that I don't create that many videos these days, but different perspective. This camera is lower than it is when it's up on the bureau, even when I did the video over there, you know. I'm thinking it's far away enough, it's probably not cutting off, you know, and I'm lying down, so I don't think it's cutting off anything. But if it was, I'd still upload it, you know me. Because I'll upload talking only videos. A video when Alicia talks to you from the tub. Anyone with common sense knows that you're not actually seeing me in the tub. It's just a talking video where the camera is faced against the garbage can. The little pail, basket, whatever, the little basket in the bathroom. Or against, it's whatever, facing the wall, facing the basket, whatever. Different, you know. And I could still do the one where I'm sitting close to you guys and having the, instead of having that there, the little couch there, and leaning back. Because if I do it here, I have nothing to lean on, so I'll be far, far away, and that won't. But I can do it that way, and just you'll see over there. As long as there's nothing on the table that, anything that, you know, hanging up, anything that reveals anything, I can do that too. It'll just be a different perspective, that's all. It'll give you a different view of the house. If I do one that way, you can see that damn chandelier in the background. And, you know, the fact is, the chandelier used to be up higher. We wanted to replace the old awful chandelier that was missing all its lights. None of the lights worked. And then her friend from church, who used to be an electrician, did it for us. But when you're ordering stuff online, you don't know what it's going to be. You just don't. You can't tell. And unfortunately, what I got hung down too low. We would have liked it to be up higher. But it is what it is. Keep the goddamn dining room table under it and you're not going to bang into it. You know? Then you can say, well, how did you end up banging into it? How many months ago did we have him do that in Chandelier? I banged into it maybe once or twice that whole time. And it was probably, I was doing something. I was reaching for something. I was doing something or other and banged into it. Maybe I was changing the lights in it. Maybe, I don't know. I just know that it's few and far between. I used to bang the other one too, and it had the tables. There's some reason that I did, but it's not a common thing. Okay, it's under the table. It's not, it's not super easy to bang into unless you're really just not paying attention. It didn't help my mom's cause when you find out she banged into it a few times. I mean, it didn't help her cause, but it was a done deal. She had to be go to the hospital. Speaking of which, as you know, I don't allow myself to hope ever for anything. It's not in my nature. Okay, 7 minutes. It is not in my nature to hope for anything good, okay? So, but I can say I do hope, but I don't count on anything, that because she's back in the same place and because I explained to them on the phone, I told them as much as I could, like, this is not like before. This came on suddenly. She'd been doing fantastic on what you put her on. And basically, I'm just saying to myself, can you please not increase it? Can we please just view this as she had triggering things? First, our Omar, our baby, dies in front of us unexpectedly. Trauma, grief, heartbreak, that, okay? And when my mom is saying, I miss Omar, and then when she's getting really sick, saying, I want Omar back, and then wanting to get his body and bury him in the pet cemetery, I'm assuming, I guess, so there's a grave and she could visit him or something, I don't know, but I don't believe in that crap, okay? I wouldn't even do his ashes or whatever, and it's not because it costs money, it's because I don't feel like that's doing that, okay? I have my memories, I have 1,000 videos that have him in them, I have several hundred pictures of him, probably, maybe not several hundred, but you know what I mean? I don't need his ashes or a little paw print or any of the things that they do that other people want. I also don't need his body that costs a lot of money anyway, buried in a pet cemetery. Because to me, that's not him. And that's setting aside the cost of it. It's like, never mind the cost of it, it's all those other reasons. But again, she's just saying that her illness, but it's telling you where her mind is at, okay? It's telling you, she's lucky that she has me, because otherwise she'll wind up in hospital and no one knows shit. She can't explain it, Otherwise, but I can say she was doing great. It was great one day, spiraling downward beginning to the very next. First Omar, then her friend's rejection. Okay? That's what happened. And then it's a downward spiral, and she wasn't going to snap out of it, and she was putting herself in danger. And with the thing with the cooking the cord and the old crock pot, on high for hours, she was putting me in danger too. And then when I said, we could have burned the house down. Well, we have house, that's not the point. I know we have house insurance, Mom. I don't care. I don't want our house to burn down. illness saying that. That's the attitude of somebody ill, okay? It's not the attitude of a rational person. Just like a rational person, and if they're bumping their head on the damn chandelier, you put the damn table back, there's no need to move it. There's no need. No, we're going to put it in the kitchen, and then we'll have even more chances to bump our head on the damn thing, because then it'll be all around instead of most of it still being covered by the dining room table. Because it's located right in the middle. That's what you do when you have a chandelier. I mean, if you have it in your kitchen or whatever, you try to have it even. So the table is under, and then the chandelier is right in the middle. It's very, very difficult to bump your head. Okay? So, but if you move the table out of the way, then you have all, then you know. So yeah, so I rearranged this. I think she'll like it, just something different. Something different, you know, something different. And of course, the place is already spotless, so I'll have the place spotless when she gets home. I threw stuff on her bed, so, you know, that I think she had out here or something. I'll make sure her room's spotless too. I don't know if she'll be home anytime soon. I'm hoping that she will be home a lot sooner than the 6 weeks she was there last time, because again, it's a different situation. These were triggering events, you know. That would badly affect anybody who's sensitive and all that, okay? And triggering life events. You know, it's not like she just got sick for no reason on the same, you know, it's not like that. She's been doing great. She doesn't want to accept reality. When reality isn't what she wants it to be, and then she plunges spirals downward into fantasy and delusion, you know, which is all fine and good to a point, unless you start doing things that put you in danger, put you in, or you and me both in danger, and then, you know, all bets are off. 50 seconds. So that's the deal. I did a cleaning today, a lot of cleaning. I'm doing it slowly.